Well, good morning. This is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred. Really glad you could join me here today, out here in the vegetable garden. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Pennsylvania, Zone 6. Well, anyhow, I wanted to share with you today some tips and ideas on how you can plant a Thailand giant elephant ear plant in your vegetable garden. So thanks for joining me today. So follow me along and I'm going to show you where I'm going to be planting that Thai giant elephant ear. So I'm going to be planting this Thai giant elephant ear plant over here on the end of my outdoor garden structure there. It's going to be like a focal point of the whole garden. So right here about in the middle of this garden bed is where I'm going to be planting this. So before we get started planting this Thai giant, you know, they come with a handy label here, and it always has some good information on the label. So here in the front it says Thailand giant temperennial, full sun to part shade. And then on the back, the height is 9 feet and the space is 9 feet. And again, full sun to part shade. The zone is annual except in zones 8 to 10. And we live here in Pennsylvania, zone 6. And the blooms, it's grown for its attractive foliage. Now, I planted one of these a couple years ago on the edge of my woods with some other regular elephant ear bulbs, and I forget the name of those, but again, these are the giant. And so let's continue reading. So some of the features here: this giant tropical beauty will be the centerpiece of your flower garden, as its giant green leaves measuring up to 4 feet across soak up the attention. Grows very large when given unlimited root space. May produce white flowers, and I remember ours that we had here a couple years ago did produce white flowers. They're just absolutely stunning and beautiful to look at. And so for care for this moisture loving plant needs consistent moisture, rich soil to thrive. Grows best in full sun but tolerates light shade, and fertilize regularly. Now I'm going to be adding my alfalfa pellets and some of my soy meal to this plant as when I put it in the soil. The soy meal is like it's high in nutrition. It has like a 7, or nitrogen. It has like a 7.22, where the alfalfa pellets is like a 3.22. And you know, anything that's green, like your kale, your collard greens, your Swiss chard, your mustard greens, they're a nitrogen-loving plant. And so here it's. It also, you can pair this with a banana tree or a rose mallow or a sweet flag or giant reed grass and a Japanese iris. Now, right behind me on the end of this garden structure, last year I just grew a regular elephant ear plant. Although, you know, those ears got 30 inches long or more, you know, and it gave a nice, bold, tropical look. But this year I thought I would get this plant. Now I ended up buying this here at County Line Nursery near me. And what's nice is they're already growing in the pot. And so you can see there it was $34.99. And you can also overwinter these if you follow the instructions to do so. So anyhow, let's start planting this in the ground. Hi Bailey, how you doing, boy? So over here you can see this is where I had removed the other elephant ear plant that was already starting to send up shoots. So I have a hole there already And in the foreground I have these vinca flowers that I did a video on recently, and you know, they're going to produce a beautiful color here in the foreground. So I used my little hand rake and pulled back some of my mulch that I had on my garden here. And you know, take your pot here and see how it fits in the hole. Generally you want to make the hole at least twice the size of your pot. And I'm going to be growing this in my composted leaf mulch amended with topsoil. And so right now I just need to go a little bit deeper here. And my soil's nice and loose, so I'm just going to drag it back some with my hand. And then let's check the depth again. And that looks pretty good. And so I'm going to just take some of my, probably a good cup of my soy meal, and then some of my alfalfa pellets. Now these will be a nice slow release fertilizer that'll feed the plant all summer long. And I'm just going to mix that together with some of the compost. And then I'm going to just simply try to turn this pot upside down and see how this comes out of the pot. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get a pair of scissors and cut this out of the pot because it's not really coming out very easily. So I have here a pair of scissors. I love these KitchenAid scissors. They're well built. I use them out in the garden and also inside the house. They're a couple dollars more, but I love the KitchenAid equipment. And so I'm just going to cut down the edge of this container here, maybe in about 3 or 4 spots, working my way around the pot. And let's do one more here. And make sure I'm all the way down to the bottom. And then just pull the flaps out like that. And what I'm going to do is cut this one flap off here, so I can just take it and actually what I'm going to do is cut a couple off, because I want the pot to still stay under the bottom until I move it in the hole. Once I move it in the hole, I'm going to take the bottom off. And I can see this already has some pelleted fertilizer in here. So I'm going to take that and spread that around. And then I'm going to go get some more of my compost and put some around this hole here. So after I put the compost around the plant, I sprayed back the mulch and really watered the plant in nice and deep. So I'm really looking forward to watching this Thailand giant elephant ear plant grow and mature through this season, and I'll keep you posted on other videos how this is doing. But you know, this is going to add a nice tropical look to the garden, nice and drama, you know. And so I love these elephant ear bulbs, and you know, again, you can reuse them year by year, which is really nice. I overwinter them down in my basement in Tupperware containers. So anyhow, I just want to thank you for joining me today out here in the vegetable garden. So I hope you have a wonderful day. So until next time, this is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred.